IAS. So in this video, we will be discussing the science and technology questions that were asked in 2026. So as you people, most of you know that I don't teach science and technology. Okay? But I will be dealing the science and technology questions now as a normal student based on some basic understanding. So here we shall be using less science and more logic. Less science and more logic and come to the conclusion. Okay. So this is a series of videos what we are making on the preliminary 2026. So after the examination, most of the people were telling that the examination was very tough. So the purpose of this series of videos is to show you that the paper was not at all tough. Tough in the sense, there were a few questions, around 10 to 15 questions that can be considered as very tough, very tough. But the remaining 85 questions can be comfortably answered. Already we have made videos on history, polity, economy, science and technology, sorry, not science and technology, geography and environment. So this is the last part of science and technology what we will be dealing today. So we shall decode the questions. We shall decode the questions by using the logic. So as I told you in the earlier videos, reading the question and answer carefully. Reading the question and answer carefully is the first step what you people have to do. If you are having some understanding of the subject, so you can use the basics of the subject to an extent. Okay. And ultimately, the most important thing is the presence of mind. That is, activate your logical part of your brain. Activate the logical part of your brain. Okay. Let's start the questions and we shall deal the question one by one. Okay. So this is the first question. Examiner will be giving us a few hints, some vague statements. As I told you earlier, we have to identify those vague statements, those hints. So examiner will be leaving for us in the exam. Okay. Genetic medicines. Genetic medicine. It is RDNA technology based medicines. So genetic medicines correct or compensate for the faulty genes responsible for the disease. So the basic purpose of development of genetic medicines, is to cure the disease at the genetic level. Because the disease is because of a malfunctioning of a particular gene. You have to identify the location of the gene, which gene is responsible for malfunction of the particular organ of the body. Okay. So that particular gene will be identified and that gene will be replaced by a correct gene or gene correction will be done. Okay. So that faulty gene will be replaced. So that is the basic funda of genetic medicine. So genetic medicines correct or compensate for the faulty gene responsible for the disease. Sahi statement ya galat? Right or wrong? Right statement. Okay. Now, so these corrected genes jo bhi hai, we will be sending it to the site of the gene by using some bacteriophages and viruses. They are called as vectors. So these vectors will be carrying, that is the engineered viruses and lipid nanoparticles are used as carriers of the genetic medicine. This is the basic things what you people know. All these things were taught in any class, or if you have read NCERT also, you will be understanding these 2 points. Okay. Now you see the third statement. What a misleading statement and what a vague statement which does not make any sense. Genetic medicines alter the entire DNA sequence. Pura. Is it possible? Not possible. What a vague statement it is. How examiner is misleading us. 3 ko hata do. The answer is 1 and 2. Anything tough? Just by your basic knowledge of your science, what you have read until your school level, you can answer this question. Yes or no? Anything tough? No. Okay. Which of the following statements with regard to large language models used in machine learning is or are correct? Is or are correct. So what is this large language models? What is this large language models? These large language models, they will be predicting the next word. When you type some chat GPT or whatever you will be using, so they will be predicting the next word. That is the large language models. Okay. So these large language models will be predicting the next word based on the data what it already has. Now the thing is, LLMs assign probabilities to the next possible words and then pick the one with the highest probability. Read it carefully. LLMs assign probabilities to the next possible words and then pick the word with the highest probability. सही है या गलत है? क्या लग रहा है आपको? What you are feeling, whether it is right statement or wrong statement? Right statement. ठीक है. LLMs process data through mathematical optimization and it minimizes prediction error. What is prediction? Prediction is something a possibility, not a reality, complete reality. See, so there may be some error. So it will be reducing the prediction error. By use of this mathematical optimization. So by using this mathematical optimization, they process the data through this mathematical optimization and they reduce the error rate. So this statement is also a correct statement. LLMs produced unbiased outputs. Now, LLMs, they work on the data already existing. So the already existing data may have certain prejudices. There is data, prejudiced data. There is some data which justifies social inequalities. So if data itself is justifying social inequalities, if data itself is having some prejudices, LLMs will be working only on that data. And based on that data, it may produce some biased output. समझ में आया? Yes or no? So, excuse me. So, LLMs produce unbiased outputs is a wrong statement. So, the answer should be 1 and 2. Anything tough? Anything difficult? It's just about reading the statements properly. ठीक है. Next question. Stealth technology question. Very well known to you people. Now the thing is, generally these unmanned aerial vehicles, these drones are stealth based. Stealth objects have very small. Now the thing is, imagine this is an aircraft. This is the point from where the signal is sent. ठीक है. So radar will be hitting the aircraft and it reflects back the signal to the center from where the radar has been sent. So depending upon the time of reflecting of this radar, they identify the distance of this the aircraft, the incoming aircraft. That is how radar works. Now this stealth technology is basically to avoid this radar. ठीक है. To confuse the radar, to misguide the radar, and avoiding the radar is the basis of this stealth technology. Okay. Now, statement 1 is stealth objects have very small radar cross section and are coated with radar absorbing materials. Why? Because if it is radar absorbs it, it will be deflecting in different directions. Okay. Now, if it is not radar absorbing, it will immediately send the signal back. So, the stealth objects have very small radar cross section and are coated with radar absorbing materials is a right statement. ठीक है. So stealth objects can be detected using specific frequencies. Yes, where ultra high frequencies can be used for detecting this stealth object. It's not that completely it is foolproof. ठीक है. Stealth objects are coated with materials to increase the scattering of electromagnetic radiation. It should not scatter, it should absorb. It should not scatter, it should absorb. So the third statement should be wrong. The answer should be C, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. आप लोग read the statements carefully. You can comfortably identify how the examiner is misguiding us. Examiner is misguiding us. ठीक है. Next question. Black boxes. Black boxes. This question is again based on that Gujarat Air India accident. Gujarat Air India crash. So these black boxes basically they would be recording the cockpit voice and also the flight data. After the flight crashes, you should know the reason why it crashed. Whether it is because of human error or because of a technical error. So all this cockpit data and also the flight data will be captured in the black box. Black box, basically they will be orange in color, but the term used is black box. So basically when the flight crashes, that black box has to withhold the crash. Withhold, matlab it should sustain the impact of the crash. These black boxes. So that is the reason why these black boxes memory units are made of tough substances like stainless steel or titanium. Stainless steel, or that is the purpose of using stainless steel or titanium, so that the black boxes can take the impact or sustain the impact of the crash. Okay. They carry a beacon emitting red light pulses to facilitate underwater detection is a wrong statement with respect to black boxes. So the answer is 2 and 3. The answer is 2 and 3B. Okay. So this is based on the current affairs part. This is based on the flight accident that occurred in Gujarat. That is Ahmedabad to London flight was crashed, right? Air India. उस basis पे हमें ये question दिया गया. So based on that accident, this question was given to us. This question is an easy question. Which of the following statements with regard to green hydrogen? With regard to green hydrogen. Green matlab eco-friendly. Green matlab renewable. Yes or no? Okay. Now the question is, which of the following statements with regard to green hydrogen is or are correct? Option statement 1, it is a decarbonized hydrogen obtained from natural gas. Natural gas, though it is less polluting, it is non-renewable. It's not a renewable source. Compared to other fossil fuels, that is diesel and petrol, it's less polluting, but it is a non-renewable fuel. So using non-renewable natural gas is against the concept of green. So statement 1 is wrong. So 1 is wrong. So 1 you have in A, 1 you have in D. The remaining options are 2 and 3, 2. So 2 should be correct. Okay. Directly go to 3. So anyhow, you just check the second statement. It is produced using electrolysis of water with electricity generated by renewable energy. So need not read statement 2, but for your understanding. So renewable energy, green. Third statement, National Green Hydrogen Mission of India aims for abatement of nearly 50 million metric tons of annual greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. Is it a positive statement or not? Is it making some sense or not? Now you have two options, either you go with only 2 or you go with 2 and 3. किसके साथ जाना चाहते हैं आप लोग? Statement 3 कैसा लग रहा है आपको? How you people are feeling statement 3? Anything positive? Positive? Yes, it is positive. Go ahead then. So answer is 2 and 3. Answer is 2 and 3. So examiner has given us a lot of concession this year. Why? Because he has given 10 to 15 questions very tough. For the remaining questions, almost all the statements are, he gave some reasonable statements. Not that much confusion. Say for example, here in place of 2030, if he has given 2050. So he did not go to that minutest details. That is the favor examiner has done to us. He has screwed us in some 10 to 15 questions, but such factual questions, especially these national missions, he has given verbatim. That is the favor what examiner has done to the aspirants of UPSC. So ultimately the answer for this question number 45 is 2 and 3. Okay. Next question. Consider the following statements with respect to involvement of private entities in India's space program. Now we are inviting private participation in the space program. Yes or no? You are aware of it. So many startups have come in this space industry. Okay. So here the question is, which statements are correct with respect to the private entities in space program? So for consolidating all the stakeholders, all the private entities and all the stakeholders, we have InSpace, which was set up recently. So the Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization is an autonomous agency formed to facilitate participation of private entities. This is a correct statement. All these are the recent developments. Agnikul Cosmos launched the first flight using 3D printed rocket engine. This is Agnikul is a private sector entity. So it has launched world's first 3D printed rocket engine. This is also a correct statement, provided if you have followed the current affairs properly. Okay. Now the third statement here is, Skyroot Aerospace, which is also a private entity, has developed liquid fuel for GSLV. Even though we have invited the private participation in the space program, as of now, fuel will be the domain of ISRO and its entities. So fuel will be developed by only ISRO and its entities, but not the private participants. So considering this fact, we can eliminate statement 3. Answer would be 1 and 2, that is C. If we have followed the current affairs properly, this question is not a tough question to answer. Okay. Which of the following statements with regard to drone swarms? Drone swarms means group of drones. Is or are correct. So pretty easy question. Provided you should know the technical names of the technical meaning of the name terms used there. The technical terms used. So people from South India, for them they have only English version. So people from North India, they can just compare with the Hindi version, and to an extent they can be comfortable. Okay. Now, the drone swarms, group of drones. They use terahertz band of frequency to communicate with the command center. They use terahertz band frequency. Terahertz frequency is a very large band. Terahertz frequency is generally used for scanning the bodies. It has so much frequency, it can completely pierce through the bodies completely. So generally these terahertz frequencies are used in airport scanners. So this statement is wrong. Look at the second statement. Individual drones in a swarm can communicate with other drones in the swarm. Is it possible technically? Yes, it is possible technically, and it is necessary. It's also necessary. Take care. So 2 should be correct. 2 should be correct. So GPS spoofing. GPS spoofing is a commonly used technique to counter drone swarm attack. So GPS spoofing is something sending some wrong GPS signal. Sending some wrong GPS signal to confuse. Okay. So GPS spoofing is a commonly used technique to counter drone swarm attack is a correct statement. So answer should be B, 2 and 3. Answer should be B, 2 and 3. Why? Because if you know this terahertz, the thing is, if you know what exactly is terahertz, you can comfortably eliminate statement 1. And if you can eliminate statement 1, the only statement is 2 and 3. So that is the hint. Matlab examiner expected us to know what exactly is this terahertz band of frequency. If you would have known what exactly this terahertz band of frequency, the answer is very simple. The logic is very simple. Take care. Anything difficult here? Anything difficult? No. This question is an easy question. This question is an easy question. Which of the following statements with regard to Genome India project? Which of the following statements with respect to Genome India project is or are correct? Is or are correct. First statement itself is, we are getting a clue. The first statement says that it is a part of Human Genome Project. Human Genome Project was completed way back in 2013 in US based Human Genome Project, and a few other countries have supported or participated, not supported, or participated. So India was not part of this Human Genome Project. India was not part of this Human Genome Project. If you people would have known this thing, you can eliminate statement 1. Answer should be definitely 2 and 3. Answer should be definitely 2 and 3. Anyhow, you read the statements of 2 and 3. The project is funded by Department of Biotechnology. Possibility hai. Next is, its primary aim is to build a catalogue of genetic diversity of Indian population. Probability hai. So answer is 2 and 3. The important logic here is, you should have eliminated statement 1. Same is the case here. You should have eliminated statement 1. So that is the hint what the examiner was giving to us. What the examiner was giving to us. Okay. This is purely a current affairs based question. So with respect to this national quantum mission, it aims at developing intermediate scale quantum computers with 50 to 100 physical qubits. Its implementation includes 4 thematic hubs in academic and national R&D institutions across India. This is the correct statements. 1 IASC and 3 IITs are involved in this project. It's purely a current affairs based question given from PIB. Picked from PIB. So the answer here is both 1 and 2. Anything difficult? Nothing difficult, provided if you have followed the current affairs. Okay. Easy question. Which of the following statements with regard to India's deep ocean mission? Deep ocean mission. Is it a infrastructure program or a science program? Science or infrastructure? Science. So a science program sponsored by Department of Shipping. हो सकता है? Is it possible? It was launched by Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, Government of India. How can a science program be launched by Ports, Shipping and Waterways Ministry? No, it is launched by Department of Earth Sciences. Hint examiner has given us. If you know the mandate of the shipping ministry, ports and shipping ministry, comfortably you can eliminate statement 1. How can a shipping ministry can develop this or sponsor this deep India's mission? So that is how we can eliminate statement 1. Automatically, if you eliminate statement 1, answer should be 2 and 3. Examiner has done a lot of favor to us. Why? Because he has given a hint. If you can eliminate statement 1, आपको अपने आप क्वेश्चन आ जाता है, आंसर आ जाता है. So he has done this in many questions. He has done this in many. He has done it here. He has done it here. He has done it here. So out of the 10 questions, almost in many questions, around 4 questions, he has used this technique. Matlab he has given this hint and we have not used it. Some of you have not used them properly. And this question was also an easy question, a current affairs based question given directly from PIB. Which of the following statements about Dhruv 64 is or are correct? Why? Because examiner has done some favor for us. Why? Because he has not, for such questions, he did not make the statements complicated. He has given direct statements. So if you read that statement, if that statement is optimistic and positive, you can go ahead with that statement. So here you see this is a third chip fabricated under DARV program with the overall aim to enable them the creation of microprocessor in India. That's a correct statement. It is India's fastest growing 1 GHz 64-bit dual core microprocessor. So both the statements are correct. It's an easy question provided if you have followed the PIB. Take it. This is to an extent tough question. The BIS recently introduced a national standard to test and assess the bomb disposal system. Which of the following statements with regard to this system is or correct? Okay. So the new standard is known as IAS 19445/2025. It will improve interoperability of the equipment across agencies. It is developed by DRDO in collaboration with the 30th Central Science Russia. So it is developed only by DRDO but not in collaboration with Russia. So the statement 3 is wrong. Answer is C, both 1 and 2. So let's have a glance of all the questions that were asked here. The 10 questions that were asked, and just identify how many questions are easy, how many questions are tough, how examiner has given us some hints, how many questions are based on the current affairs. Okay. You see question number 1, third statement is a vague statement. You can easily come to the conclusion, 1 and 2. Second statement, LLMs is also by, if you use the logic, if you use your common sense, comfortably you can answer this question also correctly. Yes or no? And coming to this stealth technology is well known. It's a repeated question. You should have answered this question. And this is with respect to the black boxes, which is current affairs based. If you have some understanding of current affairs, this question can be answered. This question can be considered as moderate to tough question. Okay. And this question is an easy question. Green hydrogen decarbonized. Eliminated. We have eliminated statement 1 and we came to the conclusion of 2 and 3. Easy or not? It's a easy question. Next is involvement of private entities in the space program. It's a current affairs based program, and if you understand the logic that private sector participation is there in the field development, you can comfortably eliminate this question also. To an extent, this can be considered as a moderate question. And if you know what exactly is terahertz, this question can be comfortably answered. This is an easy question. Similarly, it is not a part of human genome project. If you have known this question is also an easy question. Okay. And this question is directly taken from PIB, to an extent easy. And this question is an easy question. You should have eliminated this. Ministry of Ports, that is Indian Deep Sea Mission, is not by the Ministry of Ports. Okay. Easy question. Why? Because if you can eliminate this, only the remaining thing is 2 and 3. And this is to an extent थोड़ा बहुत complex लग रहा है मुझे. So you can consider this as moderate to tough. So out of the 10 questions that were asked, 6 questions are pretty easy. 6 questions are pretty easy. 2 questions can be considered as moderate. 2 questions can be considered as tough questions. So ultimately, reading the question answer carefully, command over the basics, presence of mind. So have we used these 3 techniques? Have we used these techniques or not? Did these 3 techniques work in this SNT part or not? You let me know. Did it work? Definitely yes. Definitely yes. So you people have to change your method, change your style, change your method, change your style. Okay? Don't go for ratabazi. Don't go for ratabazi. Avoid the PDFs. Avoid the PDFs. PDFs को अवॉइड करो आप लोग, रटाबाजी को अवॉइड करो, ठीक है. ट्राई टू डेवलप सम स्ट्रॉन्ग बेसिक्स पे वर्कआउट करो, improve your सोच process, that is your mental process, your thought process has to be improved. ठीक है. Ultimately your reading skills matter. Ultimately, your reading and assimilatory skills matter. So, if you can improvise on these areas, definitely, at least in the next attempt, that is 27 or 28 attempts, you can comfortably clear prelims examination. Not only prelims examination, the techniques what I have, the 3 aspects what I have discussed here, that will be helpful for you in cracking any competitive examination in India. Okay, so these are the series of videos. That we have made on the topic of prelims is not tough. Prelims 2026 is not tough. So we have covered all the subjects. I have made video on history, I have made video on polity, I have made video on economy, I have made video on geography and environment, and this is the last video on the science and technology. So dear aspirants, I am Kranthi Pavan, Director Max IAS. I would be teaching economy and history at Max IAS. So even though I don't teach other subjects, I am the head of this test series at Max IAS, and I have decoded all the textbooks, the source books of different examinations, including UPSC, and I have decoded the thought process of the examiner, how examiner tries to misguide you, how examiner tries to dupe you, how examiners leaves hints to you. So all these aspects are identified by me. So based on my skill of these examinations, I have also dealt the other topics of polity, geography and environment, and the science and technology, which are not my core areas. So I solve these questions as a normal aspirant by using the logic of stronger basics, even I prepared for UPSC some 15 years back, very long back. So I have strong command over the basics. So strong basics, mental process, I'm mentally strong in reading the question, in cracking the question, and reading and assimilatory skills. Objective type examination is the easiest examination. Your answer will be in front of you. Okay? Everything depends upon your mental situation. So dear aspirants, so these are the techniques, logics, or whatever you call, are provided from my side for the UPSC aspirants. You are free to comment in the comment section. If you are having any other techniques, you just let me know. I will be very happy to hear such techniques, such logics from you people. So Max IAS is always open for serious aspirants. The serious aspirants who wish to crack this examination, who wish to take some inputs from me, can comfortably contact Max IAS and meet me and resolve all your doubts. So thank you very much. All the best.